All right, welcome back. So this is the final lesson for this course, and this is basically on how to write the final portfolio. Uh, so before you submit your portfolio, it must meet certain standards, and the portfolio must be in a certain order. So we have created this video so you know what you in particularly need to write and what the order of all the components of the portfolio should be. You'll probably have to review this video again, actually, when you submit subsequent portfolios. Mainly because we want to make sure, and you want to make sure that you complete everything the way that we have requested you to complete them. If you do not, then I have to submit it back to you and tell you that the title page isn't right or the documentation isn't presented the way it should be presented. So just to make sure that you get everything right the first time, it'll be important to follow these directions. First of all, the components of the portfolio. These are the 7 components of the portfolio. The first one being the title page. Unfortunately, you can't create your own title page. We have a title page that's been created for you that you just fill in the information. And that you can find on your resources page, and I'll go through that a little bit more. We have a table of contents example for you as well in the resources that you can use. We have, of course, your degree plan has to be in the portfolio, and it is the third item in the portfolio, followed by the autobiography, which you've already written and you've already submitted. The great thing about the autobiography is that it does not need to change. After you've written it once, you can submit the same autobiography for the rest of the portfolios. So you don't need to keep on creating a new autobiography. The syllabus for the course will be important to include as well. And of course, that will change by portfolio to portfolio. And then a narrative, which of course is the big component, the most important part of the portfolio, which you've been writing, and then finally any documentation that you've included in the portfolio. So a little bit about the title page and where you can find the title page. So in the resources section of this website, we do have the title page outline that you need to use. Now I've put up the example here. Basically, the title will be Seminar and Experiential Learning Portfolio, and then you put in the course and the course number that you are submitting, and then all the other information, your degree, your name, of course, your student ID number, and any other information that you need to put in. All right. After that, the table of contents comes in, and we give an example of the table of contents in the resources section. It looks something like this. A lot of people just do submit this because it follows what everything should be in the portfolio. You can, if you want, put in the title or the page numbers for each item if you want to do that. But this is, of course, the order that everything should be: the degree plan, the autobiography, the syllabus, the narrative, and the documentation. Degree plan. You all have seen this. You all know that. And you need to have a signed degree plan submitted for the portfolio. So that has to be included in the final portfolio. The autobiography, of course, follows that. And what's interesting, of course, the autobiography, the syllabus, and the narrative all complete and follow after the degree plan. So go ahead and you submit those, and it follows that order. It should be pretty self-explanatory of how you submit those in the order that they go. Finally, documentation. So for documentation, the documentation, of course, are appendices. And so for each appendix, it should be Appendix A, Appendix B, Appendix C, and so forth. Each appendix should have its own page before it, so it can be labeled as Appendix A. So just create a page in Word or what have you, and leave that in the front of the appendix, Appendix A, and then followed by the material for Appendix A. And then you would have a title page for Appendix B, followed by the material for Appendix B. So it needs to follow that component. Some important points to remember. The final portfolio must be in this order: title page, table of contents, degree plan, autobiography, syllabus, narrative, documentation. It always should be in that order, okay? Submit the portfolio as one document if you can. If you have problems with that, let me know. Some people do submit it in 2 or 3 documents if it's a very large document. That's okay, but let us know before you do that. And then submit the full portfolio in PDF. Do not submit it in Word. Submit it in PDF. Now, when you do submit things for me to be reviewed, like say a draft of the narrative, it's easier if you submit that to me in Word, so I can provide comment. It's easier to provide comment in that setting than in PDF. I can do it in PDF, but it's a little bit more difficult. And then finally, something we haven't talked about, and this is in the resources section, is every portfolio needs a tracking sheet. And this is just to help myself and Eileen, and especially Eileen, keep track of where your portfolio is. So anytime a portfolio is submitted to Eileen, it needs to have a tracking sheet. Again, you can find that in the resources section. This is what the tracking sheet looks like. This sheet is separate from the rest of the portfolio. It's not part of the portfolio. It's a separate document. And it just includes your name, your phone numbers, your emails, your advisor, your program, and then the course that you are challenging and the course number. And then I'm the seminar professor. So then once you submit the portfolio, you submit it to me first. I approve that once we go through our drafts of everything. And then it's submitted to Eileen, and then to the faculty evaluator, and so forth. So the whole tracking sheet, this is only part of the tracking sheet, but the whole tracking sheet can be found in the resources section. So you may ask, where is this resources section? So if you go to the Seminar and Experiential Learning website, if you click under resources, which is right here, I'm highlighting that, or my cursor is right around there. So click on the resources, and then go to portfolio resources. And in there you can see we have the degree plans there. We also have the portfolio cover sheet, which I talked about. This is where the tracking sheet is, if you follow my cursor. And then also the syllabus requests worksheet, which you've already had. And then we have a template for the table of contents for you as well. All right? Well, I think that is it. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. All right? Take care.